Hi guys, just a short video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday. Yes, as you can see, this is Raj, the founder and host of the Woman Agenda podcast, which is available, the audio version. If you listen to us on the audio version, we have another amazing interview, which is also you'll be able to see the full video version on our YouTube Women Agenda channel. The podcast is available on all podcasts can be found. This includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Geo, and so many others. Just type in Woman Agenda, it will come up straight away for you. If you're listening to us, please follow us on the podcast platforms as well, because obviously you can listen to us while you're driving, anywhere. The audio version and the video version is available now. If you listen, please subscribe to the channel on the Woman Agenda. And this is the interview with the amazing Natalie Stavola. You've seen her in Jersey Shore. You've seen her in the film The Arrangement. You've seen her in so many films. She's now a life coach, a dating coach. So much stuff she has done. Absolutely amazing stuff. So we talked to her about that. Hope you'd like the video. Please subscribe to the Women Community channel, the Women Agenda, the podcast which promotes female talent in all areas. Get in touch with us, talentspotlight309@gmail.com if you want to be featured on the podcast. If you're a woman, if you're talent or difference maker and you want to be featured on the podcast, and if you want to sponsor us, same email address, talentspotlight309@gmail.com. And I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so this is, it's a Woman Agenda. This is Raj from the Woman Agenda podcast. We have a very special guest, Natalie Stavola. Oh, I said it right. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, you said it right, Natalie Stavola. Perfect.
Stavola, and obviously the podcast. Just to tell if anybody's new, podcast is available on audio version of the podcast, Spotify, Google Music, Amazon Music, Geo, and lots of the podcasts where podcasts can be found. And we're available on the YouTube channel, Woman Agenda. And now we are also available on the Recast, Recast platform as well now. So you can check out, you can check this, will be available on Recast very shortly. We'll upload it on there. So, I mean, I've just checked what you've done, Natalie. And seriously, I'll need about 3-4 hours to check what you've done, because you've got such a massive scope of stuff you've done in your career so far, and you're still so young. It's absolutely amazing. And if I went onto the imdb.com, where it tells you about the filmography, about the actors, what they've done, because it's not really actresses, actors. Everyone's an actor, are there? When you're in the film, TV,
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. And you've done loads of stuff. I mean, we are going to get onto the dating coach, but I think it would be wrong for me to not talk about your acting first. I think we should talk about your acting first.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've done so much stuff in acting, and I've seen some of the stuff you've done. From this is not on any particular order, but I think you've done stuff in the Jersey Shore. You played in a film, The Arrangement.
Yeah.
I think 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Not wrong.
Oh yeah.
And that was an interesting story, and stuff. So, did you always want to become an actor? Is that?
Yes. So I knew ever since I was like 5 that I wanted to be an actor. However, the arts and doing anything in the arts was just not something that anyone in my family did. We only maybe had like one other person in my family that did theater. And so, for a lot of parents, I can understand that where, they can get a little nervous if their child wants to be an actor or an artist or a painter. They're like, like, I don't want to watch my kids struggle and suffer. So it was something where like, I always knew, but I was never allowed to fully pursue it. And also as a kid, I was too scared to really admit it. I was scared to rock the boat or to, push the envelope and say, no, this is what I want. So I always knew. And then what wound up happening is that, I was a very shy kid growing up. I was very scared of the world, scared of everything. Like my nose was always in a book and I was always in fantasy land. So I wound up actually going into college and studying psychology because I found out that Ashley Judd and Tom Cruise, who I looked up to a lot, I loved their work. I found out that like they have degrees in psychology. One of them has a PhD, I believe, in psychology, if I'm remembering correctly. And that actually, I was like, oh, okay. So I saw the parallels. If I study human behavior, maybe that'll be my way in. And what I would do is like in high school and in college, I would secretly sneak off to acting classes. And I would drive down and I went to FSU and I would actually drive 7 hours down to Miami just to like do a background role or take an acting class. I didn't know that there were schools out there specifically for acting and for film, because I was always film, not stage, although I do love stage. But I was it took me a while. And then when I graduated college was like, I had this background in psychology and communications and PR. And I was like, you know what, it's in my heart, it's in my soul. And even today, I've noticed a difference. There are times where like, when you're an artist and you're in the entertainment industry, or honestly, anyone out there who's done anything where they're following their heart and following their dreams, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to have ups and downs. And there'd be times where I'm like, am I supposed to be an actor? Am I supposed to be doing this? And I'd want to give up. And so I would do other things. I'm also a life coach and a dating coach. And I would jump in and dive more fully into there. And I would notice as like, when I was doing things and I wasn't filling my soul up and I wasn't engaging in my artistry, I was a shell of a human being. I could barely help other people. I was just not there, not present, because I wasn't doing the thing that my soul needs. So there's times where I'll question it, where I'm like, what am I doing? And the moment that I stop, I can feel it. I'm like, no, I'm supposed to be doing this. Even if it's, not huge we'll fingers crossed eventually, like huge blockbuster films. Like I would love that. Marvel, where are you at? Although I actually have worked with Marvel. I've done voiceover for Marvel.
Wow.
I actually got to play for some of their animation. I got to do a Black Widow. I was the voiceover for Black Widow for their animation. So that was really cool. I've gotten to like so far be with Marvel and everything, but now I'm like, all right, now the whole enchilada. But there's been some really cool things, and it's like, go for it.
Yes. Is that the Black Widow film which released recently? Is that the film Black Widow?
No, it was so with Marvel, what they did was they made an animation film. I think this one is just on, I'm not sure. I think maybe it's YouTube, and then I can't remember where else, on what platforms they put it on. And they took like Captain America in there. So my friend did the voiceover for Captain America. I did the voiceover for Black Widow. Then someone else did the female version of Captain America. So it was like almost like their Avengers. It's like their Avengers, but in animation form.
I think I've heard about that. Yeah, I think I'm sure I've seen some of that animation stuff. Yeah.
They're out. It's somewhere. So I just gotta get the link for it.
Even though maybe you haven't appeared in that with the actual Marvel, but you still had a massive. You've still done a lot of really good stuff. I mean, if you look at your filmography, you've done a lot of stuff and you're still continuing to obviously act, because
Oh yeah.
yeah, so because it's something which I'm presuming it's something like you said, you love to act on there, and obviously now, like you said, you're a dating coach as well. So, but obviously is but obviously acting is your first passion, and is dating coach is something which you decided uh to help people with.
Oh yeah. So I fell into that several years ago. I've always been helping people. I was always helping people with empowering them to make better choices in their life.
Yeah.
The only difference though, back then, like when I was starting to do that or when I was helping people and I was always a giver, was that I was doing it at the detriment to myself. And that I would also do it to
Yeah.
where like I didn't know how to take my own advice. I was so good at helping others and I'm great at it now.
Yeah.
Um, but I was never good at like I didn't understand the subconscious, that self-sabotage and that um the everything that you can punish yourself for, the repeat toxic cycles, it's all subconscious, and you can't just think your way into a new life. You cannot do that. If there's things blocking you, it's subconscious, and it usually comes from childhood. Whether you had a great
Mm.
childhood or not, we all have blocks. So with the dating realm and with the life realm that I do, the reason why I'm in that realm is because mostly what I focus on is childhood development and inner like limiting beliefs, a lot of Tony Robbins type of style. So basically like I don't sit, and I'm not a therapist, I don't sit there and we talk all about your problems and your childhood. What happens is that typically in our lives, when we are stuck in our career or in our dating lives, when we're getting with the wrong people or not getting with anyone at all, or we're over giving ourselves, or we feel like less than, or we feel like not enough, or we constantly run, there are so many similarities to what's happening in your love life that is literally what's blocking you in your career or in other
Yeah.
areas of your life. They are so
True.
synonymous. The reason
Mm.
why I love the relationship area and the dating area is because we attract and we pull in people. We gravitate toward and we gravitate in people who will reflect out of us and in us what's
Mm.
actually going on in our subconscious mind. You will get out of you when you're dating someone, or even a lack of dating, you will see everything that's going on with your childhood wounds, with your limiting beliefs, with your self-sabotage. So that's why I like that realm, because I can literally find out. I can sit down with someone and in an hour, I listen to their dating life, and I
Yeah.
can tell them, I can see exactly what happened in their childhood and what they need, and also what might be going on in their career and what's blocking them to reaching that next level in their career. So it's the reason why is because when it comes to love and it comes to our hearts, that matters so much more to us. Or some people, I focus on career because that might be the thing that matters the most to them, because it might be legacy that they're looking for in their career.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that like really matters close to our heart, when we open that up is where we're going to see all of the internal wounds, all of the limiting beliefs, all the negative self-talk, all the things that like you went through. And that's where it's like, okay, I see how you can overcome that. So that way you can have the life and the love life that you want. That's why I
Yeah,
love it.
absolutely. And for anyone who's interested in getting in touch, nearly just fell over, but there you go. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with Natalie, get in touch with the lovecoach247.com. That's Natalie's website. And it's really in great detail, explain exactly what you do, 90-day program, which you offer people. And you've broken down, it breaks it down very, very nicely on the website. And it's not like it's hard to understand. You've broken down really, really good to explain exactly what did you do on the first step, what did you do on the second, third step to the up to the 90 days. So
Yes.
I think that's really good what you do. I've brought in board a lot of life coaches, but obviously the first time someone who's also a dating coach. But that's you're absolutely right. That's somewhere where people do need help in that area as well. Definitely, is something.
Oh yeah.
We should,
That's with that, it's like, oftentimes people don't realize like what's blocking them and what's stopping them or what's hurting them. And that's where it's like when in your dating life and in your love life is where it's really going to come out of you and you'll see it. And that's where I come in. that's where, that's where I get to go, oh, you're sabotaging and you're going for toxic partners because your childhood was full of chaos. Okay, we're going to break some patterns here. You're going to do this and this. It's going to feel weird for 30 days or like 1 week. This is going to happen. Be prepared for this. Watch out for this one. I'll guide you through. Call me tomorrow. You'll be fine.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so how long have you been doing this?
5 years now.
Wow.
I'm in programs where I was mentoring people in programs. So I would take them through like certain steps and certain like someone would pass on, like mentor me and pass me on through steps and kind of go through learning how to let go of resentments and learning how to like change behavior. So I started doing that with women. I started helping them guiding through like that program, and then wound up working with other people in this space, and then eventually kind of realized that I needed to go off on my own to do this so that I could actually pursue my dreams and pursue my career while still getting to help people. To be honest, I've been helping people since I was like 10 to be like real clear about it. I was always in my family. There was a lot of chaos. And
Yeah.
so from a young age, I grew up pretty fast,
Yeah.
and it just kind of happened where like I would be the emotional support for people for a long time. I was the one that people came to dump their problems on or dump their emotions on. I was the one that like would kind of help and guide and do that. Again, I didn't always understand everything. And then, like I said, I went to school for psychology and learned like child behavior, abnormal like just everything. I'm fascinated by our brains, and yeah, I've gotten to apply it today.
So you're also a certified hypnosis. Is that right? Trauma?
Yes.
Trauma?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not, so some people think like hypnotherapy, and that's
Yeah.
therapy.
That's
Right. So this is more, right. This is more like that realm is more like I help you with reprogramming like
okay.
memories and
Okay.
reframing. It's more of reframing. Honestly, I more lean towards NLP, which is more like Tony Robbins style, which is like reframing memories. So there's programs and like different meditations. I don't do that one as much. What I do is like I help clients with, let's say that there's a memory that they have when they were a kid or when they were a
Okay.
teenager where something bad happened or they were abandoned or their parent left, or a parent left abruptly or, something like that. Later on in life, even though we think, oh, I'm fine, that doesn't bother me, that happened 20 years ago, yet you keep choosing partners that actually leave you and that are emotionally unavailable, or
Yeah.
you wind up being the one that leaves people first constantly because you're so actually afraid of being abandoned and rejected that you don't even let yourself get put out there. So what it would be is that
Mm.
we would find the initial root, the point of contact of like, okay, where did this come in first? Because you weren't born with it. You were not born with this fear of abandonment. Babies have no fear, no
Yeah.
fear. I tell my clients, I apologize if this is offensive to anyone, but I tell my clients, I'm like, babies are like suicidal puppies. Like they have no depth perception. When they start running, they are off in front of cars. We as a society have to instill fear in children just a little bit. Sometimes we overdo it and they need therapy. But we need to put in a little bit of fear so that way, like they'll survive. They won't get run over by a car. So oftentimes we want to find that initial point of contact. When did that go in first? So we're like, okay, got it. You have a point of contact where you had a parent abandon you when you were 5. And so you go back and you do like a little meditation, do like a 1 minute kind of breathe into it, put yourself back in there. And then what you do
Yeah.
is you show up as either yourself, or if you have a really wonderful parent that you feel safe with, or if you have a parental figure or a mentor, you can pull them in with you. And what you do is you sit with that version of you, that 5-year-old, that 10-year-old, whatever age it was, and you'll be there with them and talk to them. Hey, what happened right now is really scary. It's not your fault. You didn't do it. No one's going to leave you anymore. Like when you get
Yeah.
older, you have a really great career and you're real, like you have great friends around you. And like you let your little child, the inner child, you let that little you talk to you. And basically it's called walking your inner child home. And there's books on it. It's grounding techniques too. But you're basically, what winds up happening is that feeling inside, that inner child wound, that never left you. It got stacked in your subconscious and you don't consciously think about it, but it's still back there stored. So when we get to walk back there in a meditation, or or I just walk them through and they do it on their own at home. When you reframe that and you're sitting with that inner child and you're like, hey, I got you. What happens is there's a new emotion in you where you actually feel safer because your inner child feels like, oh, you're the adult now. You're the parent. I'm safe. I don't have to worry about a parent abandoning me because you're not going to abandon me anymore. Like, stop abandoning me. That's the reason why you keep running or keep picking partners that are emotionally unavailable. Stop abandoning your inner child. And so you walk back there and you talk to that inner child, and all of a sudden you have this feeling of like, oh, I'm okay. I'm safe. And it does something. Now, all of a sudden, when you're interacting with people or you're starting to date, you don't look at people subconsciously and go, well, they're just going to leave me anyway. So I'm just going to leave them first, or who cares? Or this thing of apathy. There's something in you that unlocks. And suddenly, because you feel safer with
Yeah.
yourself, you choose better partners. Period.
Mm,
You just choose better partners. And you
wow.
wind up walking through the scary thing of when the fear comes up of, oh no, or like, amygdala comes up and you're like, I want to run. You don't, because you already know where it comes from. You know, it comes from childhood. You know how to talk to yourself, and you know on the everything that you are looking for. If you're looking for love or success or career or relationship or whatever, it's on the other side of that. Oh no, right on the other side of that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So you cover all of that then basically. You cover the dating side of things, you cover the life coaching as well. So what about do you have enough time because in the day, I mean, in the week for your acting
Oh
stuff?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. Most of the time now I try and keep the coaching sessions to like a few days a week. I sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm not the best with my time boundaries and I overgive, so I'll stack my schedule. But for the most part, I'm very big on like, and I coach my clients on this one. You cannot pour into others if you have not poured into yourself.
Yeah,
You cannot.
true.
So, hobbies, careers, passions, what matters to your heart, like you have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to wonder why you're burnt out, stuck on your couch, your body's shutting down, your stomach's in knots, you have issues with digestive, because they're all related.
Yeah.
Your body and your health is directly related to your mind and your mental health, all directly related.
Yeah, I guess some people they're working so much and they're just not thinking about these things, are they really, to be honest? And it gets to a point where they it gets too much, doesn't it, for people?
Yeah. You have cultures right now in like other countries where
Yeah,
they work
exactly.
14-hour days, and there's a big disconnect in that country where their suicide rates are really high because they're
Yeah,
not connecting to relationships. They're not connecting to people. We need people. It's not like I'm an independent person. Cool, good for you, but we need people. Like we need each other. It's community. I
exactly.
don't know how to I don't know how to do electrical wiring. I'm not going to sit here and wait, like spend my time on Amazon or on YouTube looking how to do wiring in my house. No, I'm going to hire someone. It's community.
Exactly. Yeah.
You hire a specialist in that area. You talk to a friend. You build your team. You build a community. We need that. The human psyche needs that. And there's so many studies done right now that show that people are more productive and effective when you have a 4-hour work week, or 4-day work week, 9 to 5, 4 days instead of 5, and still paid the same amount as a 5-day work week. They are actually as the same productive, if not more. So when people have more time to pour into themselves, they're
Yeah.
actually able to show up better when they have to pour into others.
So these the sessions are these online, these sessions, or are they in person? How does it work?
All on Zoom or all on the phone, depending on what the client needs. Never in person, never need to do that. So it's either Zoom or it's on the phone, 1 hour coaching sessions. I am in the middle right now of working on a coaching program so that way more people can have access. You know, and because that way, if you can't afford a one-on-one with me, you'll be able to afford like a coaching program where, you know, you're getting me basically, like it's pre-recorded, but you'll have a coaching program. So I'm in the middle of working on that. So that way I can, you know, give that out more and I can help more people.
Yeah, I mean, you do a lot. Yeah, you do lots of different kind of a coaching deal and package deals, which you've explained really well. What you're offering clients and how it will benefit them. So there's lots of stuff there. So if anybody is in that situation, whether it's their dating life, relationship, because it's happening to a lot of people, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Or and especially careers. And I remember myself when I was back in those days, when thinking, what should I do? What should I do? And you're like, you get so stressed out about stuff, by your career and that kind of stuff. And it happens to nearly everyone, really, to be honest.
Oh my
Um,
God. Yeah. Well, it happens to
and
me too. I have 2 coaches and a therapist. I don't do this alone. I have my
yeah,
own community of people. Are you kidding? Coaching is incredible. Coaching has helped me overcome things that I did not think were possible. And I had no idea. I didn't know that I was diminishing myself and punishing myself and sabotaging until I got into coaching. I had an idea, I had an inclination, but then when I got into coaching and therapy, because I needed to, with therapy, I needed to. There were things coming out that I was like, oh man, I have got to. This was years and years ago. And that changed my life. And then all of a sudden I was stuck. I was blocked, couldn't figure it out. I'm sabotaging, but not realizing it because I'm a human being too. I can't see my subconscious. I need someone
yeah,
else that I trust to
yeah.
go lovingly with respect. Hey,
Sure.
do this, do this, do this. Call me tomorrow. You're fine.
Yeah.
So I got 2 coaches and a therapist.
Exactly. And what obviously we know the website lovecoach247.com. And anyone can get on there, get in touch with yourself through there.
Yes.
And obviously, you're as per the links, you're available on Twitter. I can see Twitter, you're available
I'm
on the
available. Say that again. Sorry.
on Twitter. Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Twitter.
not on Twitter as much. I'm on Instagram. Instagram, you can catch me
Instagram
on
more.
there.
Yeah.
Instagram, I'm trying to get better at TikTok. We'll work that.
TikTok. Yeah.
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 Instagram, I'm at
Same
Natalie
here.
Stavola is where you'll see like my acting and my coaching on there. I have more of my bigger following on there. There's also love.coach 24/7 on
Yeah.
Instagram. And that's just for the coaching side of things, although I'm not as frequent on there, but you can
Yeah.
catch me at Natalie Stavola on Instagram is mostly where I'm at.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And we'll obviously put the links on the description and
Yeah.
also on the audio episode, we'll put it on there as well. So anybody who wants to get in touch with you or follow you on Instagram, on or any other social media as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to for the podcast. I'm trying to master TikTok, but I'm telling you, these kind of stuff. I'm not very good. I'm not a social media person.
Yeah.
So, but because of the podcast, I've had to start pushing myself to get onto social media more.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but because I'm more on Twitter than anything else.
Oh really? Yeah.
I'm just
I couldn't
tweeting
master the Twitter thing. I was like,
and
you
yeah.
140 characters. No, I can't do it. I don't want to. No,
I
I'm
can do
making a
Twitter, but
video.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I need to get better at.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, obviously I know how it works, and you
Yeah.
know, and I've got the following on there now. But those are
Nice.
after master the other places after master
Yeah.
TikTok
With the
after fully
with the
master.
rest, the biggest advice that I've been getting from people who have like big followings is like consistency, just consistency. The
Exactly.
algorithm is
Yeah,
crazy. It changes all the time. There's a bunch of
it does.
influencers losing their followers. There's for anyone out there that's like struggling with social media and like, out there with companies and businesses, There's a bunch of us that like, lost followers. The algorithm won't show your stuff to majority of your followers. Like my engagement went so down, but that's okay. It's going back up. So it changes. So, some of the social media platform, all it is just stay consistent. Don't get, I did for myself was I don't care how many likes something gets. I don't care. I used to care because I used to be that like, because I have over 40,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it used to be that like, I would get like 10,000 views and like thousands of likes, all of it. And the engagement changed. And like, sometimes I'll make a post and I'll get 39 likes. I don't care. It's going to reach whoever it's going to reach. And then, and then I post again and the next one gets like 3,000. And I'm like, whatever.
That would be the reason, I guess, why a lot of actors, men and women, they're always posting something because of the algorithm, I guess.
Yeah, the algorithm's terrible.
And I'm not saying it's it's a bad thing, but everyone to their own. And I guess they have to post it because if you are a top actor like maybe a Tom Cruise or Julia Roberts and stuff, you have to keep that connect to the fans. There has to be that connect. And you have to keep on posting stuff to on there. And I suppose it's hard to keep anything private afterwards after you become so famous, I guess.
Yeah. Well, there's some people that do it. You have a lot of actors that aren't on there. I've got some actor friends that are excelling in their career and they're not on social media at all.
Yeah.
You don't. Wow. So that's just you do not need social media to succeed whatsoever. Yeah. For me, I choose it as a platform because I have more information when it comes to how to overcome your pain and your trauma and how to have an amazing life. So I want to use the platform, but I don't have to. There's some times where I'm like, I'm taking a break. But I get to use this platform because I get to be an example and I get to share my work because I grew up my whole life hiding. And so for me, and sometimes I still do. Sometimes I'm so scared. I'm scared of being vulnerable. I'm scared of getting rejected too. I'm scared of not being good enough. I'm scared of posting something stupid or accidentally like offending someone when I didn't mean to. I'm scared, but I do it anyway. And I spent my whole life hiding. So for me, I look at social media and I go, I don't have to hide anymore. And I get to allow people to see me, to see if like, hey, do you want to be a part of this ride too? On the journey, I'm going to show, the projects that I'm on so we can all celebrate together. And on this journey, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and exactly what I'm overcoming. And I'm going to teach you the things that I learned and I'm going to pass that on so you can do it too.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. I think Zoom's just giving me a little warning that there's about 7 minutes remaining, but we should be okay. We should be fine. Yeah, exactly. I know, and there's still so much I wanted to talk to you about actually. So I think if it's okay with yourself, I'm definitely going to bring you back on very soon.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Yeah, because I want to talk more about your acting when I bring you back on, because obviously. We had to talk about your coaching because it's helping people. And on the podcast, we want to bring people on who are making such a big difference like yourself. And so people can get in touch with yourselves, and obviously they can improve their lives, the way. But obviously we want to talk about your acting. So I think we'll have to do a special on your acting.
Yes, we'll do that. Absolutely. I'm down to come back on.
Yeah, we'll do a special on your acting. Because I think a lot of people would want to see that. I think they want to see the kind of stuff you've done in more detail. And I think it'll be a fun session. Definitely. But you've studied. I mean, you have taken a lot of time, like you said, in education. You've studied. You've got the degree. You got the degree as well, and obviously. You're doing well in your acting and now you're helping people and making a difference there, which is helping a lot of people in their lives, whether it's dating and in all sorts of their life. Is there any particular gender? Is it more women who are contacting you, or is there a balance?
I do help women. I mostly, in the realm that I coach, I actually coach a lot of men. I've been in
Yeah.
the male space for a while. I've been helping men overcome their trauma. A lot of women have amazing coaches out there, and there's not as many when it comes to like trauma informed specifically for men.
Yeah.
I help a lot of clients that are, ex-military, ex-war vets, high empaths,
Wow.
doctors, like CEOs, so that have like high stress, that have come through and gone through a lot of pain or chaos or dysfunctional families. I also help a lot of clients that just like they're blocked, like they don't understand why, maybe they've never had a relationship before. And they, are hyper workers or overworkers, and they just can't seem to break it down into how am I not successful with the right partner? How do I attract in the right partner? How do we do this? So I have a lot of like, because I'm getting to help them with like, the female part of it, where like, this is a female mind. Well, honestly, I don't want to say male or female because it really just depends on who, more estrogen or more testosterone. So it doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter. It just depends on your brain. Because we all have feminine and masculine energy inside of us. It's just the balance
True.
of which one you're mostly in and how to
Exactly.
balance that, and especially how to balance that in a relationship and the
Yeah.
type of relationship that you want. So I help people with overcoming, their trauma, their anxiety, their, limiting beliefs, their fears, and actually like feeling good about themselves, feeling like they can handle themselves and regulate, and that they're safe in their own bodies and mind, and then wind up like attracting in incredible people and knowing that they deserve it and that they're worth it. Even if someone's never felt that way before. I have clients that have never experienced love, have only experienced pain and trauma and like, I'm talking like crazy stuff. And they're happily married now and like
Wow.
experiencing love. So even if someone thinks that it can't work for them, I understand that. I come from that.
Yeah.
Even if you've never experienced self-love or self-worth or validation or strength, doesn't matter. It will still work for you. That's the type of people that I help.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll put the links on the description on YouTube, Recast, everywhere. The links will be on there.
Amazing.
Lovecoach247.com. Get in touch with Natalie if you're suffering anything from life coach to dating, anything. Check her website out. It's very, very interesting. I've checked it out myself. And yeah, I just love the design. I love the design, the way you've explained everything on the programs. I think you just can't explain it any better than how it's explained on there. So everything's explained really, really well. And Natalie, so it's been such a really pleasure to have you on board, really. I think anyone who's watching this will obviously, I'm sure, benefit with the stuff you've been saying as well. Definitely, for sure. On there, and you were doing it today as well, the live coaching sessions before you came here. So
Yeah.
yeah. So what time is it down there? What time are
It's
you?
about to be 2 o'clock now.
2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, it's getting very late. It's getting about 10 p.m. down here in the UK. So
Oh yeah, you guys are you're ahead of us. How's the
head of us.
future?
Yeah, exactly. It's getting quite yeah, it's getting dark, yeah, dark and miserable weather.
Oh no, it's bright and
UK
sunny in
weather,
California. Yeah.
what can you do with the UK weather? You can't do much really, to be honest. And
Yeah.
it's one of those things. But yes, we'll put the links on there, guys. You'll be able to see the links to get in touch with Natalie, and we put the social media links as well. And then we'll do that, Natalie. So thank you very much for coming on board, Natalie.
Thank you for
And
having
obviously,
me.
I'll send you the links, the videos, links, and everything. I'll send it over to you on there. So enjoy the rest of your day today and the weekend. Have a really, really nice weekend. And
Thank you. You too.
Friday, thank you very much on that. And I'll get in touch with you regarding the links and everything.
Perfect.
Probably tomorrow morning.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having
Okay.
me on. This was a
Thank you.
blast.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.